It's Breaker right here on your Classic Metal Show with One Thin Line.
Good stuff there, man.
Cleveland band, Breaker.
Yes.
Now, are they still doing things? Do you know?
Well, they did the Night Demon release party or recording party.
Okay, so they kind of do one-off type things, right?
I mean, they're not an active band, but they get together for special events, I guess.
Very cool. All right.
But yeah, that's actually the version of, that's from what, Life, Sex, Death or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like the band after the singer left. That was like a different singer for Breaker, but
yeah,
that's
it's
good.
It's Peace, Love, Death.
Yeah, that's good. It's that is good stuff that you just played there.
Mm-hmm.
People were digging it too. Did you see all the chat room love in that one?
Yep.
In there for that?
Yep.
People like that. Good.
Well, it's unfortunate that there are bands out there that perform well and they can record some great music, but there's really no incentive to do it aside from if you like to perform and record, that's great. But if there's any remuneration in it, not so much.
Yeah, no, it's kind of, dude. There's a reason why most good musicians these days are in a cover band, because there's no real reason to be in an original band anymore. There's no money to make.
Mm-mm.
But there is money to make in the bars playing fucking Talk Dirty to Me or whatever.
Yeah.
Sadly. It's funny, we laugh saying that, but, we have a good friend, our friend Billy. He makes, $1,500 a gig.
Yeah, tribute bands are where it's at.
Yeah, it's where it's at today because the clubs don't want to spend any fucking money, or they don't want to take a chance on original music.
No. I was at a casino today.
Okay.
And there was a bar, adjacent to the casino. Mm-hmm. And they had a live band in there, and it was basically a cover band. I mean, they were playing Guns N' Roses. They were playing Pat Benatar, Warrant, all that stuff.
And a bunch of rubes in there eating their sandwiches, looking at each other going, boy, these guys are really good, or I love that song.
More or less, yeah.
Bunch of idiots. Instead of sitting there going, man, when are they going to bring out something I haven't heard before?
No, they enjoyed the covers.
Yeah, they just want to sit there and listen to Sweet Child of Mine for the 15 million.
And that's exactly what they played too, was Sweet Child of Mine.
Of course it is. They're not going to play something. They're not going to play Mr. Brownstone.
No.
They're going to play some cheesy shit song, November Rain or fucking Sweet Child, and more than likely Sweet Child, bigger hit.
Yeah, that's what they played.
Of course it is.
All right. Here's something that I kind of wondered about, and it's getting more and more. And this is something I just don't get.
Okay.
When I was growing up back in the late 60s, early 70s, to be aware of my surroundings.
Okay.
At least as a kid, from what I can remember, people did not seem, at least what we could see or what I was aware of, did not have all these emotional problems.
No.
And I got to wonder what it is why emotional problems these days are such at a forefront that everybody seems to have some kind of an emotional something or another.
Two reasons. One, it's accepted. Two, shit parenting. Okay.
Well, that's very succinct.
Well, it's you combine the two and you end up with fucked up kids.
Yeah.
That's it. You get there's lots and lots of examples of it, but the example of both is when a kid fucks up at school now, the parent goes after the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
When we fucked up at school, the parents didn't even talk to the teacher. The parents would talk to the teacher just to get the story, and we didn't have a say.
Right.
It was straighten your fucking ass up.
Yeah.
That was it. There was none of this shit, and there was no room for emotional shit. Now they've by not parenting, by not telling the kids, hey, suck it up and toughen up and do what you're supposed to do and fucking earn and achieve and, all those lessons that we were taught that they don't get anymore these days. You get what you got now, which is a bunch of fucking people that are, anytime someone tells them to do something, they don't want to do it. They fucking are like, you hurt my feelings. And that makes me sad to where I can't participate in the world. That's what you get. It is the product of 20 years of failed parenting. Our generation failed our kids.
Yes.
And I will say that as a guy that's 49 years old, thank God personally my kids didn't turn out to be all fucked up, but my generation as a whole absolutely failed these kids. No doubt about it. I don't even want to blame the kids. I blame people that are between 40 and 60. Not even 60, 40 and maybe 55 for just fucking letting these kids run stupid for the last 20 years and not teaching them to be fucking, I don't know, tough. Tough is not even the right word. Just not teaching them how to
cope.
Cope is probably a softer word than I would use because, this whole, and you can go into anywhere. I don't want to take it to like trannies or any of that shit because that's like the extreme example. But just, we could never, ever get away with this whining. Can you imagine? Can you fathom if, I don't know, did you play a sport? Did you play baseball or football or any of that?
Baseball.
Okay. Can you imagine if you tried to not play baseball because you struck out twice in a game? Like if you tried, like you played in a game and you struck out twice, you came home and said, I'm quitting. What would your dad have done? Your dad would have cracked you in the fucking skull, taken you outside and made you fucking hit 10,000 balls so that it wouldn't happen again.
Right.
That's what we had to do. We had to
achieve.
Overcome.
Yeah, you had to achieve.
Yeah, we had to achieve. There was no acceptance of failure. We were not, there was none of that. Dude, I don't care what the course was. As I've proven a million times on this show, I am ridiculously terrible at math. I mean, terrible at math. And you know what? Anytime I got a fucking midterm, remember the midterm report cards that you get? The progress reports or whatever they were called?
Yep.
If I got one of those and it said that I was getting a C or lower in math, you better bet your ass I was sitting at that fucking table from the time the dinner plates were cleaned until I went to bed, fucking reading the math book.
Right.
Until I got my report card and my grades were up. That was the way it worked. Every time. No room for variance there. Now, when it happens, the same thing happens with these kids. The parent goes up there and goes, you're teaching my kids, you're not teaching them right, and it's too hard for my Johnny to get this math, and this isn't what he should be learning, and everything other than my Johnny's a fucking douchebag, he better fucking learn. That's where we failed. Plain and simple.
Yep. Well, the reason I bring this up is, even though we beat on Ozzy A's a little bit last segment, he did send over a story that was kind of interesting and kind of something that I've often wondered.
Okay.
These people who can't go out in public or fly or travel or do anything because they need a quote-unquote an emotional support animal.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's a thing?
Well, you weren't aware of this?
An emotional support animal?
Yes.
No, I was not aware of
these
that.
people have to have their dog or their cat or whatever, animal that they need because they need an emotional support animal, and they're getting, for lack of a better term, a prescription for this.
What?
And these animals are identified on, like, say, the airline. Somebody wants to take their animal on the airline.
Right.
They have to have it with them in the seat. So this animal has to, it's like people who they wear these special vests and they call it a service animal or a service dog or a service this or whatever.
Okay.
Well,
blind or something.
Yeah. Well, people, because of this, I don't know what it is self-indulgence maybe.
Yeah.
They purchase these fake vests online.
Okay.
That would lead someone to believe somebody on an airline or a bus line or something that this animal is required to travel with this person because this person has some kind of abnormality that they need to rely on this emotional support animal.
Right. Ugh, Jesus. God, I hate fucking people. But literally, they don't have like a handicap. They're not blind or something.
No, they just need to have this because they'll freak out without their animal.
Oh my God. I got a solution to this problem. What you do is you give them the prescription to pick up a support animal, and you find out what day the ASPCA kills animals, and you have them report there to collect their animal that day, and you put them in with the fucking dogs.
Right.
You give them the shot right in the neck and kill them and just burn the fucking carnage or carcass. Just burn them and be done with them. Thin the fucking herd along with the dead dogs. Get rid of these fucking people.
This was never a thing when I was growing up.
It shouldn't be a thing now. This is the height of stupidity. This is literally saying, okay, we're going to take the concept that was formerly known as crazy cat lady, and we're going to make that the way it should be.
Yeah, it's the norm now.
Yeah, it's the norm. We're expecting you to be crazy cat lady. We're not expecting you to be able to function in society. That's fucking stupid.
Well, it goes back to this whole, like, the Kardashians. Mm-hmm. Or, even, I hate to say it, but even our, people who we identify with a little bit, whether it's Rudy Sarzo or a Frankie Banali in that Quiet Riot film.
But they're dumb dogs?
Yeah, they're dogs.
Yeah.
They got their little dumb dogs with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the thing back in the, what was it, like the 90s or into the 2000s, the hoity-toity rich people, They had their purse dogs.
Right, sure.
They had to take their little dog with them.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Well, it's become a thing now, so they call it an emotional support animal.
Sure, that's just stupid.
I need emotional support.
Yeah.
Because I'm so fragile.
Do you? Just fucking die.
Yeah.
For God's sakes, just kill yourself.
Yeah, weed out the weak.
What is somebody going to do if they get fucking some disease that makes it so they can't take care of their fucking support animal?
Yeah, Parkinson's.
Freak out and die because they don't have a support animal to help them through? Where is the fucking thought of, well, I gotta suck it up and take care of my own fucking problems? Where is that thought? Yeah, this is fucking enraging, dude.
A woman flushed her emotional support hamster down an airport toilet after the airline refused to let her fly with it.
Did it fall out of her ass?
It was a hamster.
So they told her, ma'am, you can't get it. We're gonna have to take this fucking hamster off the plane. And she ran in the bathroom and flushed it?
Yeah, she was told she couldn't get on the plane with this hamster. So she had to do something with it to get on the plane, so she had to flush it.
Well, it mustn't have been offering much support then, if she could just flush it. What the fuck? Did she get arrested for this?
Well, let's find out what happened to this situation here.
Okay.
Belen, Belen,
mm-hmm.
Adacosia, that's Aldecosia,
Okay.
was twice told by Spirit Airlines she could bring the animal called Pebbles on board.
I'm just going to say now, I'm willing to give her a pass. I am absolutely willing to give her a pass. I believe that she needed the animal, and I take back everything I just said for the last 10 minutes. Support animals are definitely needed.
Okay.
She is fucking stunningly hot.
This is just a spoiled bitch.
Yeah, well, she is definitely a spoiled cunt, but wow. I'd love to fucking give her an emotional load.
Yeah. You'd like to introduce her to your support animal.
Mm-hmm. I'll help her with an emotional load. Right across that fucking nose ring she's got going on there. She's really pretty, man. I'd fuck that. Fuck yeah. I mean, I hope she's okay.
Right.
Going through this tragedy.
Exactly. Only for Spirit Airlines to deny it access when she turned up at the Baltimore airport.
Right.
Recalling the moment she killed the dwarf hamster.
Oh. She killed it.
Bellin, 21, said, I didn't have any other option. She was scared.
Yeah.
I was scared.
Mm-hmm.
It was horrifying.
Terrible.
Trying to put her in the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
I was emotional.
Oh, brother.
I was crying. I sat there for a good 10 minutes crying in the stall.
Do you think if you were dating her and you started fucking her, do you think you'd go all the way to completion before you broke up? I think once my dick had been in there a good 5 minutes, I think I'm breaking up with her and hoping she didn't hear me so I can finish.
Right.
Because she's got to go. What a fucking mess she would be to date. Can you imagine?
You couldn't date somebody like that.
She would be difficult, I would imagine. Oof.
College student Bellin, who was flying home to Miami from college, got Pebbles after a cancer scare last year.
Yeah.
She had a doctor's letter certifying the rodent as a comfort animal.
Maybe I should do that for my son.
Right.
He just went through cancer. Maybe I should get him a fucking comfort hamster.
Yeah. And twice checked with the Spirit Airlines before flying that the creature would be allowed on the plane.
First of all, the parents fail for a name like Bellin.
Bellin.
The fuck is Bellin? Bad Helen?
Yeah.
Bellin? This is horrible.
The airline told her it was fine to fly, but after checking in, Bellin was chased to the gate by a screaming Spirit worker who insisted rodents were not allowed on board.
Yeah, bitch!
Pebbles, who Bellin described as so loving, a hamster was loving.
Loving hamster.
Yeah. Was barred from the hold, too, when Bellin claimed the worker told her to set the animal free or flush it.
Oh, so the worker told her to flush it?
Well, that's what she's claiming. She said she said set it free or flush it. Now, where was she going to set it free?
This smells like a really bad lie.
Yeah, come on. There is nobody in the airport that says, "Well, let it loose."
Yeah, the story's starting to break down here.
Yeah, I don't see that really happening.
Was she already on the plane?
No, she was trying to board the plane.
All right, but how did she end up flushing it on the plane?
No, she didn't. She flushed it. She said she tried to board the plane, but then she probably went to like the restroom close to the boarding gate, and then flushed it. That's according, I'm trying to decipher this story, but that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, this is sounding a little fishy here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bellin insists she checked car hire and Greyhound bus options before killing Pebbles, and claimed flushing him was kinder than letting him free where he would freeze or be hit by a car. Now where the hell was she? Was she on an outdoor?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. This is what was she gonna do? Walk all the way out? Because you have to go through a gate. You know, you have to go through TSA and all that shit to get to the fucking.
Yeah. What was she on a? She was on a tarmac or something, or outdoor. I don't get this.
Yeah, this is a bizarre lie. I mean, story.
Yeah. The student is contemplating a
what? Lawsuit?
Oh man, you were so in sync with the story.
Of course she is.
Against Spirit, and has hired attorney Adam Goldman.
Oh, nice.
To fight her case. He told the Miami Herald this wasn't a giant peacock that could pose a danger to other passengers. This was a tiny, cute little hamster that could fit into the palm of her hand.
If I had to guess, I would bet, or I would at least guess that this attorney, what was the attorney's name? Alan Goldman?
Yes, Adam Goldman.
I would think that Adam Goldman is trying to get the Casey Anthony form of payment going with this broad. Just looking at, yeah, I'll represent you. Now suck this dick.
Right.
What was that thing in Casey Anthony's thing? And she's like, he said, I'll keep representing you, but I need 3 blowjobs a week.
Yeah.
That's like awesome. Good for him. I mean, that's terrible. That's really sexist.
Spirit conceded Bellin had been given misinformation, but a spokesman added, to be clear, at no point did any of our agents suggest that this guest or any other for that matter should flush or otherwise injure the animal.
Yeah, come on.
The U.S. Transport Safety Administration said hamsters were welcome through their security lines.
Wow, there it goes. Is that actual footage?
What are we looking at here? Let me see.
And Kendall has some actual footage.
Yeah, there it is. A hamster going down the toilet.
Hamster being flushed.
There you go.
See you later.
Goodbye.
You're going on your own sort of kiss cruise.
Right.
See ya.
How about that?
Wow.
We venture a hamster in the toilet and somebody has footage of it.
Somebody has footage of a hamster being flushed.
It's amazing.
It's fucking chat room. Sick as fuck.
Guidelines state hamsters are welcome at our checkpoint. Their container would typically go through the x-ray while the owner would hold the hamster as the passenger walks through the metal detector so that the creature is not subjected to radiation.
How sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they just say, you're a fucking fool.
Yeah.
You're not taking on a fucking emotional hamster.
Yeah.
Stop it.
An emotional hamster.
Emotional hamster. Shut up.
An emotional animal. Emotional support animal.
Fucked up would it be if you end up sitting next to this bitch and she's got this fucking hamster crawling around?
Yeah.
Fuck that. You know, she gonna be mad when I stomp on it because it fucking touches me, or throw it and smashes up against the wall?
Well, again, this all boils down to just what I said earlier, and you know the answer that you had. It's like this was never an issue.
No. Emotional. I've never heard of such a dumb thing. This is a really dumb thing. Emotional hamster. I'm not a peacock. That's funny. Well, I'm pro Bellin personally.
I'm sure you are.
I'm hopeful that Bellin gets a lot of money.
Yeah. I just don't get the weakness that our current society has.
Yeah, me either.
Everything is just
his other picture. I mean, not that should matter, but you know, she looks a little chunky. Just saying.
I need an emotional hamster.
Maybe I'm not so down with Bellin. He looks a little chunky. You know me, I have the right to be very picky.
Right. Well, you are one of the hosts of the classic metal show, so you are in the upper echelon of people.
That's right, I'm a fancy guy.
You are. So you should be able to be picky and be able to pick and choose.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.